Okay, so today we're going to be doing lecture 28, Systems of Equations by Substitution. So let's try number 2. All right, so number 2 says we got y equals negative 3x plus 4. And then the bottom equation says we have negative 8x minus 2y is equal to negative 12. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to underline the negative 3x plus 4 in red. Y is equal to this. So y and negative 3x plus 4 are basically the same thing because they're equal to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this in for y in the bottom equation. So I'm going to draw an arrow to the y right here. So when I plug that in, I get negative 8x minus 2y. But in place of the y, I'm going to put the negative 3x plus 4 from the top. So I just plug that into the parentheses like that, close it up, and then everything is set equal to negative 12, just like it is in the top equation. So the only thing that I've done is I've replaced this y in the bottom with negative 3x plus 4. And I can do that because y and negative 3x plus 4 are the same thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that negative 2 right here that's on the outside. I'm going to underline it, and I'm going to multiply it by everything on the inside right here. So I'm going to multiply it by the negative 3x and the positive 4 right there. So let's do that. So I've got negative 8x. Negative 2 times negative 3x is going to give me a positive 6x. So I'm going to write plus 6x. And then I need to multiply the negative 2 by the positive 4. That's actually going to give me a negative 8. And then everything is set equal to negative 12 over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to underline all the terms that have an x in them. This negative 8x contains an x, and this 6x contains an x. So I'm going to underline those, and we can combine those because they are like terms, right? So negative 8x plus 6x is going to combine to give me negative 2x. And then I still have this negative 8 right here. I'm going to bring that down, and then everything is still set equal to negative 12. But now I have a multi-step equation that I can solve for x. Now to get x by itself, I need to do two things. I need to add 8 to both sides. So let me do that. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So that way I can get rid of the negative 8. So the negative 8 and the positive 8 are going to cancel each other out. I bring down the negative 2x, and I'm going to set it equal to negative 12 plus 8. That's going to give me negative 4. So now I've got a really simple one-step equation that I can solve for x, and I'm going to do that on the right side over here. So I'm just going to bring over what I found. Negative 2x is equal to negative 4. And I can get x by itself by dividing both sides by the negative 2. So when I do that, the negative 2 and the negative 2 are going to cancel each other out. So I can cross them out just like that. And then I can bring down the x. And then negative 4 divided by negative 2 is going to give me a positive 2. So that's going to be my x value. Now, whenever you have an x value, you're always going to also have a y value. So we need to figure out what the y value is. But that's pretty simple to do. All you got to do is take the number that you just found and plug it back into one of these equations. Now, you can use the top equation or the bottom equation. It actually doesn't matter which one you choose. So I usually just pick the easiest one, and that's going to be the top equation right here. I'm going to plug it back into that. So the top equation is y equals negative 3x plus 4. I know that x is 2, so I'm going to put that in for x right here. I get y equals negative 3 times 2 plus 4. I'm going to do the multiplication first right here. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And if I add 4 to that, I'm going to get a negative 2. So y is equal to negative 2. And I put a box around that as well because it's my y value. So now I have a y value and an x value. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write out my ordered pair. Remember, ordered pairs, always two numbers, x and y. I put x first and y second. So my answer is going to be 2, negative 2. And I'm done. Now, what you can do to check your answer is you can actually plug these two equations into Desmos and graph them. So that's what I'm going to do now. So my first equation was y equals negative 3x plus 4. Y equals negative 3x plus 4. I put that in on the left side and I get this line. And then my bottom equation was negative 8x minus 2y is equal to negative 12. So negative 8x minus 2y is equal to negative 12. And then I get this red line that goes across the screen. And the point where these two lines cross is going to be the answer that you should get. And zooming in right here, it looks like they cross right here at 2, negative 2. And that's exactly the answer that I got over here, 2, negative 2. Okay, so let's try number 4 together. Number 4 says 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 9. And then the bottom equation is y equals 3x plus 15. Now, I'm going to call your attention to the bottom equation because the bottom equation tells me that y is equal to 3x plus 15. So these two things are basically the same thing. What that means is I can plug this in for y on the top equation. So I'm going to draw an arrow from the 3x plus 15 to the y in the top equation. And I'm just going to plug that in right there. So that's going to give me 3x minus 2y. In place of y, I'm going to put 3x plus 15. Just like that. And then I'm going to close up the parentheses and set everything equal to negative 9. Okay, so now we can do the distributive property. I'm going to underline this negative 2 right here, and I'm going to multiply this negative 2 by everything on the inside. So I'm going to multiply it by the 3x and the 15. So when I do that, I get 3x. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. And negative 2 times 15 is negative 30. And everything is still set equal to negative 9. So I just multiplied everything in the parentheses by the negative 2. Now I'm going to underline the terms that end with an x because those are like terms. I can combine those. 3x minus 6x is going to give me negative 3x. And then I bring down the negative 30 and the negative 9. So now I have a two-step equation that I can solve for x. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the negative 30 by adding 30. When I do that, that's going to get rid of the negative and the positive 30. So I can cross those out. And then I'm left with a negative 3x. I bring that down right here. And then on the other side, I have 30 minus 9. That's going to give me 21. So now I have a simple one-step equation that I can solve for x. Negative 3x is equal to 21. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. When I do that, the negative 3 and the negative 3 on the left side are going to cancel out, and I get x equals negative 7. So that's going to be my x value. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for y, and I'm going to plug that into the bottom equation right here. So the bottom equation is y equals 3x plus 15. So I can just plug that number in for x. I get y is equal to 3 times negative 7 plus 15. When I multiply 3 by negative 7, I get negative 21. And if I add 15 to that, I'm going to get negative 6. So that's going to be my y value. I'll put a box around that. So now that I know what x and y are, I can make my ordered pair negative 7, negative 6. Let's go ahead and check that answer. So we're going to graph the top equation and the bottom equation into Desmos. And I'm always typing in my two original equations. So I've got 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 9. And then the bottom equation, y equals 3x plus 15. And I can't see anything, so I'm going to zoom out. There we go. And then I can see that they cross at this point down here, negative 7, negative 6. And that's exactly what I got over here.